Welcome back. Let's turn our attention to what's happening right here in Nigeria. Of course, we know we're preparing for the 2018 Commonwealth Games that is starting in April. And Nigeria, well, it's been confirmed, but we've been hearing it's going to be 9 sports. Some sports will not be there. But it's been confirmed that Nigeria will be taking part in 9 sports. And if you take a look at this sport, well, when Yemi was introducing the show, he talked about comparative advantage. And you ask yourself, for how long are we going to continue with that comparative advantage? Now, we'll be having basketball, we're going to be having athletics, of course, that is normal. But swimming, once again, is missing out. And the question I keep asking myself when I don't get to see swimming at the Commonwealth Games and also at the Olympics, what about these young kids? I mean, we had some of them in 2016, like on 2 occasions, some kids from different schools that have been training for a long time and all that, trying to, have a dream of being at the Olympics. Some even have role models, they want to, emulate. And when the dream can be realized, where the only thing you have to do is to just, go to the youth games, the Olympic youth games, and go to the senior championships, anyone that FINA is organizing and all that. But you just go to all these ones. You can't even dream past that level of going to the Olympics.
I guess the thinking is not just going to make the numbers. But I do understand that, look, if somebody has trained, they've gone through the age grades, they've done everything, they need a chance to show if they can't measure up with the best in the world. But maybe they're thinking here, it's always funds induced. Funds that, look, if we don't have much money, let's streamline it. Let's look at those we have chances of winning medals. I'm not saying it's good, but probably that's the thinking. And I'm thinking that, look, if we want to bring glory, honor, and return Nigeria to the pride of place in sports, we have to be a multi-sport nation. That's the only way to go. If we keep looking at things where we think we can do well, others, I mean, they've caught up with us anyway. So let's look at other areas where others are strong, where we probably can, like swimming that you mentioned as well. I even feel that we have a comparative advantage with people that have the natural ability. All they might just need is training and
techniques.
Expose them to, best facilities and all that. And they might be able to rub shoulders with the best.
Just maybe they can do that. But then let's listen to the president of Nigeria Aquatics Federation talking about their plans for 2018. And the big one is the fact that he feels they need to train more coaches for them to be able to train these young athletes, these young swimmers. But after that, what next? No Olympics.
We have our Zone 2 Senior Swimming Championship taking place in Dakar in May. We have the African Senior Championship coming up in Algiers. That's in September. And then the CANA, the African Swimming Body, are trying to organize an African Junior Water Polo Championships for boys and girls, if possible, in October in Cairo, Egypt. So those are the African level championships. There are other international games. Of course, we have the youth games, we have the youth Olympics, where swimming is involved in both. So there are various international programs. There's also the FINA World Championships short course, that's 25 meters, which is in December in China. So those are already fixed. It's for us now to finalize our own domestic competitions to slot in the final program activities as preparation towards these international outings. We are working with the state associations. We're going to have a congress, a general congress very soon, and we're going to sit down with them and work out how we can assist them, because obviously there are certain areas where we could come in and assist, particularly in the area of technical support. We've already applied to FINA, the International Swimming Body, for 2 coaching courses for this year, one for swimming coaches and one for water polo coaches. The idea that we need to improve the quality of our technical side of things, the coaches. Last year we had 2 courses from FINA. Those were for the officiating officials. This year we want to emphasize more on the coaches, because we do realize that the better the coaching at the state level, the better the athletes are when they come into national camp. We'll be doing a lot in that area. Luckily, one of our board members, Mr. Stephen Onyacholam, is now a member of the FINA Coaches Committee. They had a meeting about a month ago in Budapest, and we're setting up a coaches committee at the federation level now, as well as an athletes committee, so as to see how we can assist, particularly the coaching side, to assist the states to improve the coaching quality, the quality of the coaching at that level.
If you're able to do that and you get all that you want, what happens to the kids? That's the question I'll keep asking, and I hope maybe the sports ministry can just reconsider to see how they can actually bring back swimming to Commonwealth Games and also to the Olympics. We have 5, 6, 7 athletes representing Nigeria there at the swimming competition. Might just have maybe a shot at the medal, but sometimes if you check their performance and if they're so good, then you can maybe increase the funds that goes to them and all that. I understand everyone had to be very independent now, but when you keep, organizing elections for federations and all that, you know that you have to also, give them
responsibility for some of the things that they might need. And I think it's unfair to judge people's ability and say, oh, this is how far this person can go, let's not waste money. Even the idea of saying you're wasting money, I think it's totally wrong. And look, if these federations are there, I mean, they are there because they want to promote the sport. They want to ensure that they get to the top. So let's not deny ourselves of the. So I'm happy when I see federations trying to do their best to get. So they need all the supports they can get. And let's stop seeing sports as leisure. That's the problem here. There's a lot of money that can be made. There's a lot of things, jobs that can be created, money that can be made, structures to be put in place. Government can benefit. Sports, I mean, the government should stop saying sports as if we're throwing money. No, you're not. You're not. And I mean, look at all those advanced countries and what the government gets from all the activities around sports. And if you remove sports and maybe entertainment,
in some countries,
very sure the countries will be.
That's it. Some of those countries, for instance, we were talking about Iceland until the women's and the men's team started talking about football now. Started being on the roadmap, and everywhere you go to, everyone is going to Iceland to go and see how they were able to, a very tiny, small nation, how they were able to use sports to put their country out there in the limelight. You were talking about numbers of sports who will be participating. Maybe we can just read it out, let our fans get to know. The viewers get to know how many sports, the kinds of sports. As usual, athletics, of course, lead the way.
I mean, you already let the cat out of the bag. You talk about athletics, you talk about boxing, basketball, table tennis, weightlifting, wrestling, para-athletics, powerlifting, and para-table tennis, 9.
That's just it.
And
at the Commonwealth Games.
You can almost close your eyes and say, Nigeria will be in those events. We're strong in a lot of those events. Yeah, we're strong. At the World Championships, what would they come up with? We're strong, I understand. Okay.
Abub Gume, well, he's hopeful. I mean, he's the NOC president, of course. He will be hopeful that we should be able to perform so well, because they had, a meeting yesterday talking about the first vice president, the president, and all. And interestingly, I mean, when you see Mountain Fatai Williams, he happens to be the second vice, president of NOC, and you're like, okay, your sport is not there. What are you doing? I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but
I mean, just thinking out loud. Okay.
Yeah, thinking out loud, right? Okay, listen to Abu Gume now talking about Nigeria's chances at the Commonwealth Games.
In the last Commonwealth game, we performed well, and in Gold Coast, we are going to perform well. Right now, the athletes are in camp in Port Harcourt, in Abuja, and in Lagos. And from here again, before the game, they will travel to Australia, where they will continue with their international training. And I believe with the level of training and the competition they have been doing even before, local and the both their club championship and other things like that, I believe we will maintain the level of our medals or even more. So be rest assured there is no cause for alarm. We are working seriously, and the athletes are doing very well in camp.
They're working seriously. Athletes are doing very well, absolutely very well in camp. And we know that the camp in Lagos, Port Harcourt, and of course in Abuja. And from what he said, it's likely some of these athletes will get a chance to maybe, when they get to Australia, get to compete before the games start. But I remember, going by what Danny Gali told us right here, it says it's not just enough for you to bring athletes together, put them right here in camp without them having to compete with other athletes. So they don't have the opportunity to compete with other athletes. So their chances are still very small.
Can't train in isolation,
So.
Events, all those events show you your progress level. So you can't measure your progress level by just training with your teammates, training with people in your locality. No, those events, and even when you don't do well, it doesn't mean that you have failed. It just shows you, it's like a litmus test, it's a clear picture. I mean, nobody goes to the mirror and not remember what they look like. So when you go for those events, it shows you your true picture, then you have a chance. But if you must get it right at the tournament itself, then you're prepared to fail.
Okay, yeah, that's not a good one, the way Yemi is ending that.